How you guys doing?
Good.
Good. As always, appreciate you guys coming on Monday. We'll go through and just do a quick recap of the game from last week, talk about the upcoming opponent, and take any questions you guys may have. I just want to start by, again, thanking the fans that showed up Saturday. I don't know how many were there, it doesn't really matter, but I know they made a difference when we needed them to, and just really is exciting about what we can build here in this area. It's loaded with recruits and an outstanding fan base, and we can create, I think we can create an outstanding environment that's loud and makes a difference and makes an outstanding home field advantage in the future. So just really appreciate the fans and the students that were in attendance in that game. Hopefully they walked away feeling really good about the game. It was a hard-fought game, four-quarter game, like we knew it would be, and hopefully a lot of fun to watch. But watching the film, it was a great victory. It did go down to the wire, just like we thought it would, just like most of the games we're in, and we're going to have a chance to win are going to go. But we made enough plays in that game. We didn't play perfect. It wasn't our best game that we could play. But again, it was probably the closest that we've been all season to playing well in all three phases. We ran the ball well on offense. We made enough stops and some key plays on defense. We had some special teams plays, especially our kickoff coverage team, that changed the field position. So I thought we did some things in all three phases that we have not done so far this year. You know, we're getting closer, we're getting better, but we're still so far away from what we want to be and where we would like to be as we go through the season. But again, we're pleased with the progress that we're making. You know, the players of the game from this last game offensively had an outstanding rushing game. Both our running backs, Gus Edwards and Rob Martin, were co-offensive players of the game. I think they ran the ball exceptionally well, especially late in the game in the fourth quarter when we needed some tough yards and needed to move the sticks and get points. So those guys were able to provide it. Defensively, Kai Hester was our defensive player of the game. Kai's around the ball a lot this year and had another pick six that obviously was a difference in the game. And then for special teams, our whole kickoff coverage unit was the special teams player of the game, or players of the game, I should say. You know, when I watch, the first thing I watch when I come in on Sundays from the game is that kickoff coverage, just because of the effort, the toughness, and just the passion they have for that one rep. And it's really impressive to watch. And they were physical, they were fast, and really were locked in and excited about the challenge that the Maryland kickoff return team presented. And I think they rose to the challenge and did an outstanding job. As we move forward, our next opponent's a very good one, going into Penn State. They are a talented, very talented football team. It's obviously a tough environment, a great venue, and you know, we just need to continue to focus on ourselves and our improvement, our preparation, and continue to try to strive to play the best that we can play in all three phases on Saturday. So with that, I'll go ahead and open it up for questions.
We make a big deal out of having one running back, but the way that you split it with Martin and Edwards, and then having a little change of pace with Raheem, is that kind of what you envision, you know, with this offense, being able to, you know, split it up between those guys riding the hot?
No, we're just lucky that we have them. You know, to be honest with you, we want to be able to run the football. You've got to be able to run the football, and when you can do it with fresh legs and rotate guys, obviously that makes it more challenging for a defense, especially late in a game when you got a guy that's fresh versus a guy that's taken 30 to 40 carries throughout a full game. We've got the luxury to do that. And Josh Hicks is another guy that we can put in there as fresh legs and provide a spark. So, you know, right now we're very lucky and fortunate that we have several players that we have confidence in that can go out and make plays in the running game.
Chris, how's KJ Gray doing?
KJ should be fine. He's day to day, but should be fine. He's obviously a pretty vicious hit in that collision with Damon Hayes, and just fortunate we didn't lose both of them, you know, on that particular play.
And then more long-term guys, Saquon Hampton and Jonah, how are they doing?
They're recovering fine. We're hoping to have them back sometime soon. Right now, we'll have both of them back at some point before the season's over. Just not completely sure when, but both of them are progressing nicely.
Coach, staying on that topic, what's that dynamic going to look like when Jonah comes back with Marcus, you know, playing guard and Mike Madden playing?
Don't know yet. You know, Jonah was a starter, but Marcus probably played his best football game this last Saturday. Not probably, he did. He played his best football game this last Saturday. Mike Maietti just Mr. Steady. You know, we talked about him before. You know, as a guy that walks through the door and doesn't look like a Big Ten offensive lineman. Wasn't heavily recruited, but when you watch him play on Saturday, the guy gives you everything he's got. He's just a fighter in there, and really proud of him and the way he plays. So when Jody comes back, it'll be a bonus, but he's going to have to fight to get back in the mix because those two guys are playing pretty good football right now. You know, I'll just follow up on that, talking about my Eddie being a redshirt freshman starting. You know, one of the real cool things I think is, from a fan's perspective and coach's perspective, but looking forward, we only started 4 seniors in that football game Saturday. We had 2 on defense with Ross Douglas and Sebastian Joseph, and we had 2 on offense with Gus Edwards and Dorian Miller. So we only had 4 seniors starting that game. So we got a lot of guys that are playing a lot of football right now that'll be back, and really excited about that, not only for this season but next season too, moving forward.
Coach, when it comes to recruits, and since Penn State's one of the closest schools to New Jersey, how tough has it been that battle to keep the kids here in New Jersey, and keep them here instead of going to Penn State? Because I know that's always been a battle with you in Penn State.
Yeah, I mean, people talk about it all the time. Our concern is recruiting guys that we think can play and be developed to be Big Ten football players. I don't care who else is recruiting them. I don't care where else they go, what they're looking at. I'm concerned about going out and recruiting the best players that fit our culture, our environment, that we can coach in our systems and can develop to be a player at this level. And the proximity of Penn State, Maryland, schools up north, Boston College. I mean, we're obviously going to recruit against those guys every year just because we're all in the same region, and that is what it is. Penn State's got a lot of history, a lot of tradition. They've got a great venue. That excites people. And we hope to do the same thing here. But again, we're not concerned about who we got to battle. We're just concerned about getting the guys that fit our system, fit our culture, and want to be here.
Because you obviously have a lot of young receivers on the field. How do you feel about their development so far?
Up and down. They're getting better in some areas, not as far along as we'd probably like in others. I'd like to see more production, out of them. But like I've mentioned before, our offense's job is to score points and have more points than the opponent. And when we win, obviously we've got that done. I don't care if it's running the ball, throwing the ball. We just got to get that job done. And right now we're lucky enough in our victories that we've been able to run the ball the way we've been able to, and that we haven't had to rely on those young players to go make plays and make a difference in the game.
Coach, what's been the biggest difference between the first few games of this season and then what you've been seeing from this team lately?
The ability to make some plays. That's it. I mean, somebody asked me the other day, or made the comment the other day, did this team change in the bye week? No, it didn't. This team changed after last season. And I know people talk about there's an event, there's a certain moment where the team changed. No, it didn't. This team changed after last season. We went through an awful experience last year. When we got done with the Maryland game, the Monday after, we had a team meeting. We laid everything out there about what contributed to that horrible season and what it was going to take to move forward and get better. I think I'm on record as saying all the way back after spring and before training camp that this was a much improved football team. And I know when you start off 1-4, people don't believe you, kind of laugh at you. But this was still a much better football team, even though our record was 1-4. We just didn't make some plays that we needed to get the victories. That's part of the process of building a team. It starts with teaching the players how to compete. And that's what we were going through during that 1-4 stretch. Is we were competing. We were playing with everybody. The only game we haven't really competed in this year was the Ohio State game. And the wheels kind of fell off in that game. But we've competed in every game. But the next step was to try to get our players to understand what it was going to take to win games. And it's the details, it's the discipline, it's the execution, it's the consistency in what we're asking them to do. And we've gotten better at that part of it. But the energy, the enthusiasm, the preparation, all that stuff, the effort, that's all been there. That's shown up every Saturday. That's part of the process. That's part of building a team, and is teaching them how to make those plays and being consistent that'll help you get that W. And that's the difference. It's not anything else.
Chris, against Maryland, there was that play where it looked like Ross had dropped an interception. It turned out to be a fumble. Is that something that you guys have looked at in practice, preaching to always finish the play, even though you may not be sure if it's an incomplete pass or a fumble? Is that something you've addressed to them?
Yeah, we try to finish every play. There's not a play that happens that we don't teach our guys to finish. I mean, they threw the ball, he didn't catch it, you know, and they ruled an incomplete pass. You know, so I don't know what else you want a player to do. The whistle blew and breath's going like this, incomplete. So I got up and he was ready to go play the next play. They reviewed it. They called it a fumble. They actually made a mistake, you know, on the play. It should have been gone back to an incomplete pass and gone back to a 3rd and 7 instead of becoming a 3rd and 4 where the ball was moved up because nobody clearly had possession of the balls that laid there on the ground. But you know, Ross did what he did, you know, supposed to do. He didn't catch the ball, got up, ready to go to the next play because it was ruled incomplete. And that's, you know, unfortunate, but that's the way it worked out.
Coach, it looked like Jerome Washington got a lot of key blocks in the running game that allowed for some extra yards, and you got to keep blocking Gio's touchdown run. What have you seen out of him in that aspect, and how valuable is it to have a tight end who can make those blocks and help in the running game?
Well, the whole tight end group right now is trying to take a lot of pride in their run blocking. The cutoff blocks on the backside of zone plays has been something that we struggled at earlier in the season. It's been a major point of emphasis for us offensively that we knew we were missing some yards in the run game because of our inability to cut off the backside. And they've gotten a lot better at it, and that's helped our running game. In the Illinois game, it was a lot better. In this game, it was a lot better. And it's the whole unit. It's not just Jerome. Miles Nash, he blocked his tail off Saturday, whether it be the front side or back side. He did an unbelievable job. He got some pancakes. Really proud of that room. And the fact that they're taking pride in their run blocking. They all want the ball. I mean, everybody does. Wideouts want the ball. But you know, when we run the ball, and the reason we're able to run the ball is because not only O-line, but the tight ends and wide receivers take pride in their run blocking, and that's what's happening right now.
Chris, Saquon Barkley, I know Urban Meyer said earlier this year that he's the best, as good a running back as he's seen in all his coaching. Do you feel that same way? Obviously, you were around Ezekiel Elliott, and what is it about Saquon that puts him at that level?
No, he's very good. There's no doubt about it. I've been around some really good ones in my days at Wisconsin. Monty Ball, Melvin Gordon, Zeke Elliott, Alex Collins at Arkansas. I've been around some really good ones. And Saquon Barkley is as good as there is. He can do it all. He can run the ball. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He can line up as a wide receiver. He's very strong, tremendous balance, just unbelievable change of direction. The way he can stop and restart and make you miss in the open field is as good as there is. Yeah, he's outstanding. And you know, you never want to say that a particular player is as good as you've ever seen, but I'd say he probably is.
Final question.
Fans, media, they look at a team like Penn State, they lost 2 in a row, they're going to be really, really hungry, that's like the perception. Do you even buy into that? Like
No, I mean, you guys throw that when we go play Nebraska, Michigan, it doesn't matter. I mean, we're focused on us, our improvement. I don't care who we play, how many games in a row they've won, how many they've lost, it doesn't matter. You know, they got to go play their game. I'm sure, you know, they're going to prepare, you know, go play the best game like they do every Saturday, and that's all we're going to do also. I don't get caught up into that. Don't even worry about it. I don't care what they're doing. It's all about us and what we need to do to continue, again, to go out and prepare and get closer and closer to playing as good as we can play.
Thanks.
Yep.